dry cleaning, and the black one would not have wigs. So that would be a big, huge revolt. Okay. What I would suggest, and I'm happy that you went back to the subject. I would like the U.S. to prioritize the illegals that are reliant on federal programs and dollars to be removed first. That's who I don't care what ethnic background they are in. I'm not prioritizing it. I'm looking at this as a pure monetary deficit that could go towards actually our U.S. citizens. So the ones that have been sucking America dry, that's who I want to go.
Very nice. Anybody else? Would you guys like to? And anybody can in the audience, if you were free, you can feel free to tell us whether if you can say the gays, you can say if they're a certain racial or national origin or
not good
welfare types, refugees, like whoever you want, that's fine. It's your country. You should be able to say like whoever gets to come in and who doesn't. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree with KK. Generally speaking, Asian people contribute to the country and don't fuck around with anybody else. And that's the way they like it. So they're really not causing any problems. I think I forget, there was some act, and I didn't know about this, there was some law that was passed in 1960 something, somewhere around there. It used to be that the immigrants we allowed in basically had to prove they had some value to the United States. And I may not be characterizing this right, but then they changed it to, well, we're just going to allow anybody to come in from any country. And that's so...
It still stands, Alan. You are supposed to be financially independent from the government. That's literally the
Well, Alan, we used to not have...
No, but I'm not describing it correctly.
No, we used to not have any... what do you call it? Entitlements.
I'm listening to that intellectual giant known as
you make it or you don't. And so you had huge... a lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of Italians, for example, did go back to Italy because they couldn't make it here. And so it wasn't feasible to stay if you were not able to survive.
Can I... This is the thing. Asians, what they do, and they've been doing this for decades now, is if they have family that wants to come to the United States, they go through the whole process. It takes them years to get it done. But then when they come to the United States, they are given a home. They stay with family or relatives in a home. Yes, a crowded home, but it's a home, right? They're given a job. Why do you think you see so many Asians that they're all related to each other in one location? It's because they're a cousin or a friend or whatever. That's how it is. And they tell them, this is your job. You're starting from scratch. You can totally keep your tips, but this is how much it is that you have to go for, like, your booth or what pay or whatever. You work your ass off for so many years, you would then become part owner in this actual store. That's what enables other Asian owners to then just open up a new nail salon, open up a new wig shop, open up a new dry cleaner. It's because each time they bring someone in, they're placing them in the more subservient role so that they can develop another brick and mortar. That's basically what Asian culture does. So we don't have this whole kind of like stigma of like that. Are there Asians that are immigrants that are illegal that are on government subsidies? Absolutely, they are. But for the bigger purpose of this conversation, traditionally they have not. I don't know of any other ethnic group coming in that has been kind of just take care of their own type of people.
I don't think I can even count on one hand seeing any homeless Asians either. So I don't have any hate on that. I don't see anything.
I found it's the heart cellar Act with a C, passed in 1965. Previous to that, all of the immigration laws favored European immigrants and Western European immigrants particularly, and that particular law changed it. So that's why we have it. That's why we have the makeup of the country we have today, because of that particular law. Now, Pepe, I'll leave it to you to say the bias statement about how that.
Well, the 1965 Immigration Act, the Hart-Celler Act, we had that. So at that time we had nation of origin quota. So you had to be from northeastern Europe primarily. That's where they really wanted people to come from, and to a lesser extent southern and eastern Europe. But before that, starting with, it was in 1790, the first Immigration Act in our first Congress was, it said you had to be a free white person of good moral character, and it's relatively easy to immigrate here, but we were not open to non-white immigration, and so basically from 1790 all the way until 1965, we only allowed whites for the most part to immigrate here. We were almost 90% white country, and then when it was Robert Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson was president at the time, and they were saying how, oh no, this won't upset the demographic of makeup of America, but which was absolutely wrong. It did, and so it adds on to a lot of the drama. I guess you can see today in our changing demographics, and which kind of makes things a lot more complicated.
Also, Pepe, I think the ones that have a criminal background or history, that's what I have find problematic. It's like, oh, they got pulled over for a DUI or this or that when they were here, not even on a full work visa, or especially if they're illegal. They just seem to I'm like, why are all these, convicted rapists or waiting on trial for pedophilia still running around in our streets? Like, it's kind of odd. So with the Asian community, if your family's sponsoring you, you don't put shame onto your family by getting in trouble. So they look at it as okay, if I'm coming to this country and I make a mess out of it, then that looks poorly not only to the family, but that small group that kind of sponsored you into that. So it's interesting culturally how people do it different, but I don't understand why the illegals that have been able to remain in the country that already have broken our laws beyond them coming in illegally. Like, anyone with any type of criminal finding should be taken off.
Yeah, that was the most egregious thing is that you had states like California that, so if you were a foreign national, and let's say it was for something like raping of a child, it didn't matter how severe or violent the act was. When ICE put a detainer on the prisoner, so that once they got done serving their time, they would be picked up by ICE and removed. California wouldn't even tell ICE what time they were going to be released or from which location, basically making it impossible to deport them. And somehow they think that this is the humane thing to do. A lot of these progressive politicians, which I think is, it's absolutely fucking asinine. You're going to protect the wolves,
That's the reason
to slaughter the sheep.
That's the reason why immigrants that have been here that are illegal for 20 years that haven't gotten in any trouble are getting swept up. Is because the sanctuary cities did not agree to do a pass off or felons coming out of jail to be then handed over to ICE for them to be deported. So Homan made it very clear, if you close off that path, then we have to go out into your community to pluck the people up and shut them down. that's where the outrage goes. So it's almost like we need to prioritize going through the most difficult first, which would be the sanctuary cities.
Yeah, no, I mean they should not exist, and there's not a country in this world that will like let somebody come into their country, commit an egregious act, and stay there.
Not a single one.
It's fucking stupid.
And I just learned today that even with the sanctuary city, the whatever it is, I forget what it's called in LA, that it has multiple provisions for them to cooperate with federal law enforcement and ICE if the person has broken the law, has been incarcerated, and it goes and it lists specifically what, if they're convicted of this, if they're convicted of this, all the different crimes, and yet the city refuses to cooperate with ICE in any way at all. And so they're even breaking their own law. It's really completely ridiculous, but it's simple. You know what? I will put the link in the chat. There's this, what is it? Indivisible.org. It's their website, lists all of the ways you're supposed to resist the Trump administration. It's a huge amount of fear mongering. It's pretty revealing because it shows they say specifically, well, we're just copying what the Tea Party did. and literally all of the distortions and lies that they tell people to use and all of the tactics they tell people to use, the goal of which is to simply slow down or stop any progress that the Trump administration attempts to do. So in that light, everything that like Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, is doing, or Gavin Newsom is doing, it's to slow down Trump and break the law by any means necessary.
Yep. I just think it's ridiculous they're even making like it a human rights issue when you're talking about fucking like dangerous people. It's just bizarre. Like that's it. It's like it just starts to go backwards. Like with a lot of these progressives, what they do, it just makes zero fucking sense. Hello, NW.
Well, it's all about retaining power. That's it.
I got into the car. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I was on mute. Sorry about that.
I'm so sorry. I just saw Conan O'Brien. That's a song like that.
George.
I'm so sorry. I saw Conan O'Brien. I just want to let you know.
What I find interesting is that the Patriot Act requires employers to verify that the persons are in the country legally.
George, don't talk out of turn, George.
He's kind of echoing KK.
Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
there's an echo from KK's mic.
Yeah, KK.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I find it interesting because according to the Patriot Act, the employer is supposed to verify, but I hear all this deportation. I hear nothing but employers being penalized, knowing that they have someone illegal working for them. I hear about I guess they're deporting these persons. They are picking them up. But what's going on with the employers who are really condoning these behaviors? I hear nothing about employers being penalized.
NW, I live in a border area, and there's a governmental program, federal program. It's E-Verify, and what the employer is actually supposed to collect the information and data, and then there's a list of rules that the employer has to do. I mean, I looked them over. There was nothing like out of the wall, like too much. It'll be too difficult to do, but typically they were saying online, if you are a company and you use that program, then ICE really won't bother you, right? The problem happens is when we have what they call seasonal migrant workers, and they are also another program with the federal government, and they're with the companies that sign up for E-Fi or E-Verify. If they're not retained again, then they just stay. So there's no actual accountability for the person to just leave. Another issue is when employers, they, obtain people's ID, the immigrants, the illegals are giving them false information. In particular, if they've had like really bad arrests or they're, wanted in another country for some, big ass crime, they're running away and trying to hide in the US. So that's the problem with it. So a lot of these bigger companies, they don't care. So they would rather have just like the low, and all they have to do is claim like, well, I didn't know he was, this person or whatnot. That's why the biometrics and having everyone, all the immigrants that come in accounted for, so then that way they can determine exactly who people say that who they are is actually who they are. So that's an issue that we have in Southern California.
Yeah, I know. I mean, everyone else, it's the system that I hear what someone said that because of sanctuary cities, they're not cooperating. And the government has no recourse, I believe. And I understand why they were going to Home Depots and other places where typically undocumented persons would show up for an employment opportunity and pick them up. And now you have the situation where Trump has proposed, or Homeland Security has proposed, that restaurants, farmland, hotels, they will be exempt. So that's really condoning. I mean, I know because the employers need the people, but at the same time, the government is speaking on two sides of its lips. So someone can claim I work for a hotel.
Maybe perhaps you didn't get the updated version. So Trump was saying he was considering amnesty. So the update from that was just maybe a week and a half ago, is what they were going to do was the farmer or the construction company's owner would then become like a quote sponsor. So they're responsible to be able to identify, this is Joe Blow. He's been working for me for 20 years. He doesn't have a criminal record. He doesn't have any problem at all. He shows up to work, X, Y, and Z. The sponsor, or the company is then the sponsor. So the immigrant would have to leave still, but then the sponsor would prioritize them, put him on a fast track so he can come back in. But the key part is that he has to leave the country to come back in so they can get them the whole biometrics on him to be able to determine exactly, yes. And the reason why this is important is because going future, if they go and do a check at a farm, at a construction site, whatever, it's easily just to look at the people, get the biometric, and to determine if, yes, that is that person, or they stolen or swapped out identification. So he's not claiming full amnesty. He's having the companies or the business owners to claim kind of a quote sponsorship. Yes, there was going to be a fee paid, but it was going to be the fee paid by the actual owners of the company, not by the illegals, but the immigrants.
And I think the important part of that is they go back home. In other words, there is some form of punishment for you coming here illegally. And it's in line with what, I forget who's head of Homeland, Kristi Noem. I've seen ads on the TV. Hi, this is Kristi Noem. I got a message for you. If you're here illegally, we will find you. Go home and you have a chance to come back. And then she says, if you don't, we will find you and we will deport you. So what you just explained, KK, is in line with the Trump administration and Homeland Security's approach to immigration.
You know what's sad, Alan, is do you remember when Kamala was the border czar and she said, I'm not at the border, I'm going to the root of the problem, and where she went to Central America, in particular to Guatemala? Do you know what the result of that trip was? The result was giving the country $3 million for social programming. And upon her exit, did she even get a parallel agreement that they would share intel with Guatemala and the U.S.? No, she did not. So that's the reason why we knew it was never going to be fixed. All the Democrats wanted to do was throw money at them. Oh, throw money. Let's make the people in Guatemala happier so they stay there and not come to our country illegally. That's not how it works, because that $3 million runs out. And then what are we going to do? Speaking of money, I'm going to share this real quick, and then I got to be quiet because I'm walking into yoga soon. No fat girl here, Pepe. No fat girl here. Is in LA, freaking Mayor Bass is now she just signed an order that they will provide illegals that are hiding and they don't want to go to work and they can't pay their rent. LA County is going to offer them money and
my tax dollars
for them to stay in the country and hide.
My tax dollars. I'm very upset about that.
Well, no.
Upset about that.
Yeah, they were like, oh no, it's not going to be public city dollars. It's going to come from nonprofits. She said a majority of it's going to come from nonprofits, to include like Chirla, CHIRLA. But Doge did the paper trail research on that and found out that Chirla is basically receiving money from the federal government as an NGO from three other NGOs that trickle it. So it's like a shell game. So it's going to be the federal dollars. Everyone across the country is going to be giving illegals money. And this is the thing. How many homeless veterans do we have on LA streets? Why aren't we saying, you know what, we're going to help you, give you $5,000 to get you back up and going, right? So that's where my problem is. It's like, they're not even being transparent about it. So there's going to be more, because guess what? If it starts in California, if it starts in New York, other cities are going to do it too. So.
She needs to be arrested, and New York is in very, very, very big trouble right now. Like, do you think for a minute, KK, that the polls are accurate and that Muslim is actually winning that election?
I don't know. With New York,
it's all smoke and mirrors.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. New Yorkers are just stupid enough to where they might vote that guy in.
Yep, the Islamic Republic
of
Manhattan
loading. Game.
Loading.
Well, it's the exact same game that they did with Kamala. Kamala's doing great. She's ahead in the polls. I don't know what polls you're looking at. Oh, that's not true. Look at that. Look at this fan base. Look at the people that sit there and came to listen to her. Well, it comes out after she was never ahead in a single fucking poll. It's all smoke and mirrors, because what? People want to vote for a winner. So like, okay, well, if everyone else is doing it, she must be okay, so I'm going to vote for Kamala. It's the exact same PR, marketing, whole agenda that the Democrats did for Kamala. They're doing it again. And the thing is, he has a leg up this Orhan guy because his mother is a producer, movie producer. Think about it. Look at each of his engagements are all so scripted out. Right? Each of the words, each of the things. He was an actor. Of course he's going to act like a mayor. Yes, of course he's going to act white for the camera. He's not stupid. But yeah, it's just the whole let's pretend everything is great game. I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, and I wanted, you reminded me too, KK. I mean, that whole thing with Kamala Harris as the borders are. The Democrats' dicks were so hard over Biden's immigration bill, which was just because they knew they were going to get shitloads of money that would have done absolutely nothing for immigration. And I'm so happy that the Republicans, and however Trump did it, he forced them to vote no on it. Yeah, because all Biden needed to do was re-sign Trump's immigration executive orders. And day one, Trump walked in, signed those orders, and there you go. All the numbers dropped dramatically to practically nothing. And it didn't cost the U.S. taxpayers 1 cent. Same ICE, same Homeland Security, same budget. All it took was an executive order and Trump saying, don't come to this country because if you do, it will be very unpleasant for you. Now, some will say, oh, that's so cruel. You're so mean to the people who have true asylum issues. I don't know what voice that is or why it came up. That's my whiny Democrat voice. In any event, they will say that. And what is more cruel? Letting someone come to this country, stay here for 20 years, and then they get caught after establishing themselves illegally and being sent back to their country of origin, or making sure they don't come here at all until they're allowed to come legally, and then they have the security of knowing that they are here legally. They can take advantages of all the benefits of this country and know that they cannot be forced back. Which one is better?
You know what?
Trump is better.
Exactly. Do you know what's scarier if you really think about it? What if Biden did win, knowing on the mental decline that he was in and not really there? They just needed him to win. And what were they going to do? They were going to say, okay, he can't be president anymore, next in line. Near the beginning, I firmly believe, just my personal opinion, I believe that was the plan.
Oh, yeah.
Just win.
Yeah.
Just win. And so that way we can say you are sick, you have cancer, and the vice president needs to take over. That was their way to say, yes, we're going to get a female president in. And what happened to Joe's cancer? How come we've never heard anything about how he's doing on a treatment? Listen, you're one of the most well-recognized men on earth. Why would you not be a great advocate for cancer, for early research, for getting checked, pushing agendas and nonprofits that are going to find a cure for it, right? Why isn't he? I don't even think he has cancer. I hate to say it, but what happened to his cancer? Do y'all remember?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to feel bad for him. Yes, he's a cognitive decline, but he had cancer. He has cancer. He was on the beach 2 weeks ago. He hasn't lost his hair. So what type of treatments? What type of treatments?
Well,
treatments are there?
A report came out that said that it came back or he's getting treatments. I heard it wasn't that big in the news, just saying, yeah, he does have cancer. But absolutely, you are correct. And that's the way Democrat that's the way the Democratic Tammany Hall machine works in California. Somebody gets, whoever's in the office resigns early, like Secretary of State, Attorney General, et cetera, and then the new person, then somebody gets appointed by the governor, and then that person serves the remaining of the term, and now they're on the ballot as the Democratic incumbent. And the voters, which in the city centers are overwhelmingly Democrat, just simply vote in the person because they're going to vote straight line Democratic. And so no one actually has to campaign and talk about their policies and actually win the approval of the voters. They just get voted in essentially by appointment. That's how she got her job as Attorney General. That's how she got her job as Vice President. And it's how she would have gotten her job had Biden had won.
Now, back to the immigration thing for a second. What about those undocumented immigrants that are marrying U.S. citizens to circumvent the rule? Can they still be deported if they're undocumented, even though they marry an American citizen?
Yes, this is not 90 Day
Okay.
Beyonce, let's have everybody in. You still have to go through a process. Why do you think the 90 Day Beyonce was like a whole series? Is because the U.S. citizen had to stay here, and then they were trying to bring in their foreign ones, right? It takes years. It takes a lot of time to do that. So they're like, oh, well, that he's illegal. He's here illegally, but he married a U.S. citizen. That doesn't mean shit. You still have to go through the legal proceedings for that. And I'm sorry, we need to get rid of DACA too. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I knew someone who went through the process. And yeah, it's the way you do it correctly is that and the rules are different, but the way you do it correctly is you go to the home country, you marry the woman, assuming you're a man, and you're not tranny. You marry the woman, I'll use this example. Then you come back to the United States. You say, I got married, my wife is here, I want to bring her here. You go through the application process, and then they say, okay, she can come. Then you go back and you bring your wife to the United States.
It's a green card. And
And then you get your green card. Then you have to wait the regular amount of time.
Permit. You can't work. You got to have a work permit after that. But you have to have a green card.
Yeah. Well, you can. And then you got to show you have the financial wherewithal to support this person. The work permit part of it, I forget if you get that as well. It really depends. But then the point is, then you have to wait, whatever the waiting period is, 5 years, 3 years, to become a U.S., to apply to become a U.S. citizen. So that's the right way to do it. Now, coming here, and this may have changed, coming here, marrying someone, now we're married. I think what's different now and why, you're seeing, children are being separated. They're being forced to be separated. No, they're not. If they identify, say, a mother or father who came here illegally, who got married to someone who is legal, they say, okay, daddy's going back home. You can bring the child with you, or you can leave him here. The choice is up to you. And then the person has to decide.
Well, I know someone that did something a little differently. What they did was they formed an LLC. I had it registered in the United States, came to the US on a tourist visa, and then start working, getting contracts, jobs, not under a social security number, but under their tax ID number. And so they're operating as a business. And the business they just want from business to business to business services. They're not asking for social security number. They just want to know, do you have a tax ID? Now this person then married a US citizen, but in the meantime, they're working because they're working under the tax ID number and not a social security number. And that's gaming the system.
Yes, that's true. But I don't think it's gaming the system. It is. I understand why you say that, but the government. Yeah, but but NW, I'm not disagreeing with you. Let me add this. The government, I remember reading in one of the tax program that they caution you and they say the IRS has been around a long time. They've heard and seen every trick in the book. If you think you're coming up with something new, you're not. I'm sure the government is aware that people do that, and they are allowing it on purpose. They don't consider it gaming the system. And the more, without putting any judgment on whether it's good or bad or whether or not it's cheating, in order to do what you just said, what you have to do, you have to have enough money. You can't. It doesn't. It costs money to create an LLC or a corporation, and then when you do that, you are paying taxes.
Yeah, it doesn't cost too much to form an LLC in any state, but now there is in the immigration laws. I know they have clauses for if you are legitimately starting a business. And you will be employing people. The government will allow you to do that and give you some type of business permit to actually operate a business and to generate money as the owner of a business enterprise. And at that level is how many employees that jobs you're creating. But this is more persons who are looking at the low end of that pathway, and they're simply forming the LLC, getting, when I say small jobs, get a job for 5,000 here, 6,000 here, 10,000, and the government's, and it's going under the radar because of the volume. Now, if you're making $100,000, $200, $1 million in revenue, that's a different story. Now you're in a different game. But I do know that persons are being savvy, although gaming the system may not be the appropriate word, but there definitely is a crack, if you will, in the process, whereby this person I know came on a tourist visa and overstayed their visit, and still has overstayed their visit, and is able to survive by finding jobs as independent work through their LLC. Yeah. And so I think that is not a fair system. I mean, but that's not fair for them to do that.
There's two parts of this. And again, look, we want people to come to this country, establish business. If they have the money, establish business and work here. And if they have an LLC, they will be paying taxes.
Yes.
So that is a legitimate use. The person who came under a visa and overstayed their welcome, it doesn't matter if they have an LLC or not. If they're here illegally, they will get deported. Now, establishing, and maybe here's the way to look at it, since you brought up that other example, certainly by establishing an LLC, getting jobs here, it's considered legal, and it is a way to show that you have value to the United States. So that if your visa is up and you go back home after your before your visa expires, then when you apply and come again, then certainly when you do apply legitimately to immigrate here, it will help your case to say, oh yeah, and by the way, I came here under a visa, I created an LLC, I created jobs, I paid taxes, and I left when I was supposed to, and now I would like to come to the United States, immigrate here perfectly. That makes a big difference, because remember, when you immigrate to this country, at some point, you meet with an immigration agent. And that agent, you got to convince him or her before anybody else. So certainly, that's a better way to go about it. But I got to go. Pepe, if you're still there, I'll talk to you. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Ad.
Later, Alan.
Hello, people.
Hello.
No, he needs to be the first one to be deported.
Give an example about this immigration. I have a friend. I'm from Turkey, by the way. I have a friend who is just came American citizen just 2 years ago, and he just got married from Turkey because he's Turkish. And this woman used my friend for coming there, becoming US citizen. They have a child. And after they come to US, 6 months later, my friend got cheated. Then,
he should throw her down. There's some really cool ghost towns, and he should drive to them and take her with him, and then say it's like a cute day out, and then just throw her into the mine shaft or the well, and probably nobody will find her, and that's he'll get over it, bro.
the problem is they have a child, and this woman was beating her 20 months toddler. And we have sacred videos because, this taught nanny camps. And then guess what happens? My friend got going to jail.
Oh, damn.
Because he was thinking about, he was suspicious about her son was beaten by her wife, and he put sacred camps to the house. And this state laws, if you put a camp, how can you prove that?
Sure. Well, guys, I gotta go. I gotta end the room, but thank you, everyone.
See you later, babe.
How long?
Anyway, those are my personal qualms. I probably need to just get past all of that shit and stuff like that, and just and do push that. But it's kind of just, it's also nervousness. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm just afraid to put myself out there. So, but I'm gonna take your advice, and I think I'm gonna go the YouTube route and kind of, for now, separate them and just do the advice, the videos. You know what I mean? And then just not actually involve my actual business. You know what I mean? But another source of income, and I can still teach people certain things and knowledge. And like the other day, right? I had this lady fucking leave a Google review based off of other people's Google reviews, and she's never even been a client. Luckily, Google deleted it, but people be weird, bro. Like, they think you own them when you cook for them. You that they own you, and you don't. Anyway, that's personal problems. So, but you're right. I definitely think that it's a source of income. And people who have the confidence and the boldness to put themselves out there, they definitely should. Now, if you don't, to be honest with you, what I've been researching is faceless channels. You don't necessarily have to put your face out there. If you can find a way to provide information and market it properly, you can still get information out there in a faceless way, as long as the aesthetic is right? So that's another idea that I've been playing with. Just having like this one lady, she has a YouTube video based off of Dr. Sabi. She put one video. That video has 2 million views or more and counting. And then she built a business around that one video. Literally one video. So it's like, so it just.
You just need to turn the camera on and just start talking, nigga. You gonna go for 13 hours and make $10 million in them 30 days. I promise.
I'm not a people person. That's my problem.
Man, your ass get up here and talk to these nigglets every day, 19 hours a day. Shut the hell up.
Joseph, no, I just got to put it on video.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, hey, he's 100% right, because it's called your IP, your intellectual property. That's the problem with Clubhouse, is that the people that were on here all day giving away their IP, they realized that it was not profitable. So they moved over to other channels. So whether it's a newsletter, you have to make access to you more difficult, because what you put down is real shit. Like to speak to some of the things you're saying, I completely hear you, like putting yourself out there. It's vulnerable. Like it invites attention. It could be good or bad, right? Like it's mostly bad because people are just haters and stuff. But the ones that are meant to hear what you're saying, you got to focus on that. Like, actually, every time, one thing that helped me, I paid a lot of money to be in a mastermind, and one of the notes I took down that stuck with me is, every time you film, think as if you're talking to one person. Put that in your mind, the top of your mind. You're not talking to everybody. You're talking to one person specifically. That really helped me a lot, because I can focus on that avatar, that person I want to help. And it's not going to be one person, obviously, because you're putting it out there. It's going to be so many more people. And now they're demonetizing AI videos on YouTube starting in, I think it's like this week. They're demonetizing AI videos. They're looking for real people. And so, but you can try both. Test both, okay? Because the more you post, like you were saying, you were starting to get comments and negative stuff. If you don't have any haters, if you don't have any awkwardness, you're not doing anything. That's actually evidence that you were breaking through. So the fact that you stop is that, like, the haters and the demons out there, they win that way, right? Like, because they are not able to do it. So as soon as you put something out there, the demons are dispatched. Like it's instant. I mean, there's nowhere more demonic than the internet. Like, so like it's gonna come for you in one way or the other. But like, you can have chatbots respond to messages. You can have people that you pay in India and other countries that can respond to comments for you. You can literally remove yourself completely from your personal brand if that's something you still want to do. If you want to do a faceless page, you could do that as well. And you can reverse engineer some of the biggest pages. There's a really funny ass Instagram page that I'm literally almost about to pull the trigger, pay this guy, I think it's like $160 for his course. It's called Dr. Curses. And he does AI faceless channels on Instagram and Facebook or whatever. Like, it's an AI avatar that says, like, it's a doctor, and he talks about weightlifting and different like kind of things, but it's funny as hell. And he's gotten like millions of followers in a few months. And like, that's one course I'm thinking about taking. So there's so many routes you want to go, but literally personal branding, face brand is the winner, because you are a personality, whether you like it or not. You just kind of have that persona already about you. Like you're just kind of like, that's kind of a calling. I could just tell for you, like people need your personal touch in a way that wouldn't be delivered faceless. So, just consider sharing your gifts, talking to one person, instead of focusing on who's going to judge, focus on the one person who's struggling, that needs you. And if you don't show up, they're going to suffer more. If you don't post, someone suffers.
Hey Melissa, you can always one thing I've done is B-roll film, and you can upload it to this a website. It's called Opulous Clips, and it will clip out the clips for you. You don't have to edit. You know what I mean? Of course, you want to edit whatever, make sure stuff isn't in there, but man, ultimately it will pull out the important stuff and it'll put captions on it, ready to post videos for you. So it makes it a lot easier. That's what I do for my podcast. That's what I do for everything. I do a lot of B-roll film and I run it through that website, and it does it. It's an AI website. Whoever built that was genius.
What's the name of it again, Michelle?
It's spelled OPUS Clips.
OPUS Clips. Okay, I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do. I don't pay for it. When you pay for it, you get more credits. But when you don't pay for it, you get 60 credits a month. And yeah, I just tweak it like that. It's a really, really good tool to use for editing videos and posting stuff that you don't have time to edit. I don't have time to edit these podcasts and look for certain moments. And that thing, it'll take an hour podcast and pull out 30 different clips for you.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. All right, I have a bunch of content. Let me see if I can use some of my old content and read. Yeah,
and then if you need help with anything, girl, that's what I do all day, is making videos and stuff like that. That's what I do. So if you need any help, you just text me.
Yeah, I need to do that. And then I think there's this other thing with the food and stuff like that. You don't really have to be on camera, but building the story and then narrating it. That's another thing that I've noticed has worked a lot with food. Like you said, getting good B-roll and then narrating it, and then periodically showing myself, but more so showing the food. So I think there's a way for me to position it. I just gotta force myself to put myself out there.
Yeah. You can most definitely do that and put it in there, and it will piece it out for you. And if you're narrating while you're doing it, it will put the words and everything up there for you. So it's so many ways you can do it. Hey, Chris, was you trying to say something? I see you come off your mic.
Oh, no, I might have accidentally. I was listening to you. I'm interested in what you do and how you're posted and stuff, because I know someone said in the chat that they're tired of hearing about AI and this stuff, but it's like saying that to someone in 1999 that you're tired of hearing about the internet. And
yeah, I agree.
Times 100.
Yeah, people are not really happy about it, and what they don't understand is, man, that is ultimately where we're going. We've seen that we were going this way for eons. I'm 42. I remember watching Star Wars and oh shit, we could be living in that one day. You know what I mean? So it's been coming. So we got to stop this. But what I do is I do a lot, man. I'm a chiropractic massage therapist, so I do promote my business online. I do modeling and acting. I have a podcast, so I work a lot with film and stuff like that. So I've been editing my own podcast film. Like I just told Melissa, I don't go through that film to find the best parts. I put it in that little Opulous Cuts, and it did the job for me. All I got to do is just make sure all the gaps is gone and post it, download and post. So, I also do continuing education for other therapists out here. So I create
courses for them to take. So, you know, in our state, well, pretty much every state, every 2 years, you have to get continuing education. And if you don't, you'll lose your license. So I just felt like it was a lot that I do that a lot of therapists don't do in my area. So I just created courses for them to take. And I mean, shoot, I used my ChatGPT to create the course. And it helped me do a 6-hour course. And I uploaded the video that I did. I had one of my clients, I gave them a free session. She just had her BBL. The course was to teach post-operative lymphatic massage. So I used her and didn't show her face, uploaded the video to my chat, and shoot, it put everything together to where I could sell it all online. The person can do it virtually, like in person, or they can do it self-paced.
Wow, yeah, see, you've unlocked, yeah, you sound like a master prompter because you've unlocked the different layers of how you can actually, and you've modeled these things in real time. Like, you can just plug and play. I was saying that earlier, like all the things that were holding you back. Like, people get annoyed by it, but like, you don't have to even pay for like half the things you had to pay for a couple of years ago. Like, you can just get your website, your funnel set up, like what you wanted to position, how you wanted to collect emails, how you wanted to, you know, just move people to the next thing with this AI. Like, you can go step by step and you just have to act on it. And like, it seems like, yeah, you're like way ahead of the game in terms of the way you're going deeper with it. You're actually building things in real time, not just like ideas.
Yeah, right now, I'm in the middle of making AI-powered apps right now. That's what I'm working on.
Me too.
Besides everything else. Hey, friend.
You got some MVPs going?
Yeah, man. But what make it so good, I'm doing it. I'm learning it from home, and I got my kids doing it. My boys are 9. I got twins. And I also use the thing to create an accelerated curriculum that would have them graduating high school by the time they're 16.
Yeah, it's completely possible. I mean, the fact that they go longer is just kind of mad math in a way, right? Like, yeah, it's totally possible. It's just, yeah, wow, that's so amazing. I mean, my brand is all around parents and kids. I'd love to talk with you more because it's just so exciting to see other people, other parents especially, like recognizing, like teaching kids about it, because it's like, hey, if they can start to build for themselves, they're going to be able to have so much more confidence and so much more skills. Like that, it's not just about fancy YouTube and that. No, you're building skills. They're learning how to actually make a plan, to make a goal, and then step by step carry it out. School does not talk anything about that. They tell you about transgender shit now, for God's sake. They tell you about math that you'll never use, and science that's fake because space and all the bullshit they tell us is probably half bullshit, right? Like, there's nothing almost valuable. It's designed for your destruction, the system as it is. So if you're not doing what Michelle's doing, honestly, I hate to say it, you're doing it wrong. And she's probably doing way better than I am. It sounds like it. It's hard to get them moving, but if you start early and you show them that they can do something for themselves, there's nothing more empowering for a kid. The problem that we look at kids like they're not capable.
I mean, Michelle,
that's the biggest sin we could ever put on kids, that they're not capable.
Hey, Chef.
Hey, can you tell the same system that you were telling Melissa about just now? Can you spell that out again for me? I came in on the tail end.
Oh no, you good? Yeah, you good.
Okay,
it's called Opus. OPUS, and then it's Clips, CLIP.
Okay.
Opus Clip. And what you do is you don't have to purchase an account. I have a free account. The only difference is okay, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. The only difference is when they do the captions and do the clips and the videos for you, if you do not purchase right? You cannot edit it. So I've seen the thing make mistakes on certain things that I've said in a video, and it's like, oh, darn, I can't change it. Oh, okay, you know what I mean? I just move on. But paying for it, you do get more credits, you get more stuff out of it. I just choose not to pay for it because I'm fine where I'm at.
Okay. Is it y'all see in the back channel?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's quiet. What happened?
Yeah.
But yeah. So along with AI, like people, like let's not forget that even if you, AI will also affect like, you know, regular industry, like quote unquote regular industries or whatever, consumer based industries, retail industries, things like that. You know what I mean? So it's not just at the tech. Yeah, customer service. So it's not just at the tech level, right? It's going to come down over time. It's going to trickle down from these larger institutions, and then it'll trickle down into our everyday life eventually. And you just don't want to wait until it becomes everyday life, like how the internet went from ooh, ah, to oh, okay, to oh, shit, everybody's using it. Like nobody, everybody, even elderly people who probably when they first saw it were like probably not wanting to use it. So it's just getting ahead of the curve. And I think as a community, we've missed so many of these economic opportunities, right? And we've seen them, they've actually and what people don't understand is that more millionaires and billionaires are made during economic downturns than they are during periods of an upswing, right? Like when there's a good economy, there's actually more people made when there's a bad economy because they're positioning themselves to take advantage of opportunities. And I'm not saying that the economy is doing bad, but if you get into a mindset to take advantage of opportunities, no matter what happens, you'll be able to hustle your way out of it. Like, rest assured, on top of preparing yourself, investments and things like that, saving, there's just, I think it's just an overall sentiment of staying ahead of the curve and not allowing yourself to fall to the bottom of the hierarchy like historically, like we have. So education and knowledge is key. And I think everything that's been said is super accurate. I'm definitely going to use that information that you gave me, Michelle. I've been looking at the ones coming across Instagram, like the ads for those, but none of them, I read the review. They all look like trash. So this is gold. It's funny that you bring it up today because I was literally thinking of something like I needed something to help me with the content because I have ideas. I can get footage, but then editing it and then doing all the work. Should I hire this person? Da, da, da. So that's gold. I'm going to research that.
Yeah, if you need any help, let me know. And I could, because like what I do is, so if I want to do, if I shoot an episode of my podcast, right? I'll make sure I watch it, make sure there's no dead air, no dead space, stuff like that. And I insert my little commercials that I created because I get a lot of sponsors so far. And then after that, when I upload it to YouTube, I just take the link from YouTube and put it in Opulous Clips, and I get 30 different clips. And then I take all of those clips and I take them to my Instagram and I post. I have enough to post every day a month, once a day. And that's how you keep up with your posting on your social medias. So let me know if you need any help. I got you.
Okay, no problem. I'll definitely hit you. So basically it breaks it up into different clips for you if you have one long video.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got you.
So like for me, it's good because I do the podcast, so I interview people. So when I put it in there, it'll start like the clip off of me asking a question or them in the middle of something, saying something inspiring. So whoever created that website, that app, they're using AI to do it. So AI is literally pulling apart your video and doing the thing to it. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good thing. And I didn't know it. I just found out about it last year. And a young lady that works in media, she's been working in media for over 20 years. She put me onto it. She's actually one of the first people to have to go live online on some type of stuff. You know what I mean? Her name is Rochelle. Oh man, she's had a Rochelle show back in the day. But yeah, check it out. I think y'all will like it. But it's some other stuff. Once I come across it, I'll send it to you. Like CapCuts, that is my favorite AI powered app that I put my videos and pictures to for my modeling and stuff. So it'll edit it and it'll take certain videos and stuff like that of you. And it does the clip out too. If you put your B-roll videos in there, it does the same thing as Opulous Cuts. It just only gives you 8 different clips. Opulous gives you 30 of them.
Okay, that sounds dope. Yeah, I think that anybody not taking advantage of some of the things with AI, I know we're worried about the future, but as of right now, before it turns into our God, go ahead and use that thing. Don't be afraid of it. Make your life easier for right now, I guess, because it's I don't know. Because the only other option, to be honest with you, is removing yourself 100% from this system, which is probably what we should be doing. But if you're not going to do that, you kind of have to find ways to make the system work for you, I guess, in a sense, and not be left behind. And I'm not sure if people are ready to live off the grid and remove it. And even if they did, being with the trillions of dollars in buying power that specifically the Black community has, and then the brown community and all of these different communities, I don't think they want people pulling themselves out of the economy and operating on their own, right? So it's easier said than done. So I don't know. I'm torn because do I feel okay, AI and the future and things like that? Sure. But I also don't have a spirit of fear, and I understand that now is a better time to utilize these things than ever. So I don't know. I'm just kind of keeping my eyes and ears peeled because I'm on it's a double-edged sword. Will this be something that's detrimental to us in the future? Possibly. But if you don't use it and you're in the system, you risk being left behind. So, I'm kind of I'm on both sides at this point trying to figure.
I was just now scrolling Instagram and, they all talking about that whole McDonald's fiasco, right? And I was like, damn, if they already replaced y'all at the damn drive-through, what makes you think how long it's going to take for them to replace you inside that kitchen to where they only need 1 or 2 people to run that back kitchen and make sure those machines is running right? Because, man, I'm talking about they are literally, you don't have to use a human to take orders anymore. Those jobs are going to be gone with probably, I would say, I know the order taking is gone, but the dispensing it out of the window and preparing it, I give it another 5 years.
To be honest with you, yeah. I mean, there's still going to be some manpower involved, but it's going to get less and less people will be involved. They're now in McDonald's and all of these fast food places, they have checkout kiosks and they use apps and things like that. Sometimes there's nobody even at the register. You have to just check out whatever kiosk is available.
I just went to this restaurant. It was a vegan taco place, and you didn't order with the person. You used the kiosk to order. That's one less person to take and order. Now you automate some of the cooking systems and maybe have some sort of a small assembly line process, right? And then even less people needed. If McDonald's is able to use AI and robotics to eliminate a lot of their human workforce, just know that the rest of the industry is literally going to follow right behind. Because McDonald's, in a sense, is kind of like, it's not a quality restaurant, but their business model and how they got to where they are is to be envied, right? And what they do well, and what a lot of other places do well, is the systematic approach to the food, and how, to be honest with you, they don't cook anything. They solely reheat the food, right? Everything has technically been partially pre-cooked prior to it actually entering the restaurant. And so they've gotten getting food fast better than anybody else. So if you want to do it the same, you have all types of vegan burger places, you have mom and pop Chinese food restaurants. Eventually, the technology will trickle down to these people. So yeah,
you're not gonna need waitresses anymore. I was at Stars and Stripes. We ordered online, right, with the little code at the table, and then a little robot came with our food. We didn't see not one person.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah. I mean, as far as food and restaurants go, other than like the organic, handmade, things like that, but most of the food is fast. So, it doesn't necessarily need to be made with love. So why not? The more we accept a society where we're getting conveniences and not getting natural, things, then this shit is inevitable. I just don't know, like, how do niggas gotta stop supporting these companies? We just gotta stop supporting these companies. Like, I really, as a consumer,
like janitorial stuff. Like, what was me and the boys was at Sam's Club Saturday, and it was it was like a big old robot thing. It was riding around the whole store, buffering, cleaning the floor, keeping the place clean. Yep. Then you have one, it was a forklift. It was getting stuff down and taking it and putting it out all on its own.
Today we are talking about Medicare Part C.
I want to tell y'all some secrets. Y'all want to mess it up.
What you say, Hakeem?
Oh, that wasn't me. My mic off, but that wasn't me at all.
Oh, your mic is off.
Sorry, my bad. That wasn't me though. I heard him too.
I think it was Nan.
Yeah.
Nan?
I know some shit. I'm gonna tell you some secrets, but don't go and just speak it too much. Right now, they're gonna try to patch it. I don't even know if they can patch it. You can develop something in the AI that breaks the code. And the thing about it is, it works like a program. I understand that part of it, but it's not a program. So you can build something in the AI that breaks how it's supposed to work and confound both the developers and the people that use AI. But it's not because it's intelligent or it's some sort of consciousness. It's because of what it is inherently is very close to how our brains work, but in a much grander way. It's a network of nodes. So you can...
A Turing test. An Alan Turing test.
Yeah.
And so, I don't want to get too deep into it, but if you can get yours to tell you what it needs to perform one, it will help you do all the things that you just said, Nan. I'll just land right there.
Yep. I'm going to tell you, I did something and I'm going to tell you, you can do this. It's not supposed to do this, but I created a link for my AI. And they have role privileges that I control. And they go in and out, and I actually have a working program that I can pull up on any AI that the AI know about and the developers don't. And you can connect to these signals and get these VLF signals from my servers using this software that I created in the AI. And the great thing about this is that this is introducing another layer of development that the developers don't even quite know yet. And I think it's perfect for content creators because, like me, I think I'm at the beginning of it, and I'm going to be maybe a window of a sort because I'm going to teach some people the way. But I think y'all going to carry it much further than I can because I represent the old way of development. But I can comprehend where it's going. But I don't think this direction is actually for like developers in the traditional sense. It's a lot of things that need more explication and detail. That like as developers, we just see the system. It's easy for us to see the big picture, but it's hard for sometimes to see how robust a certain component need to be. And this is what AI is bringing out. This is what the people that's using AI is bringing out. And I think it's great, but it's going to be some angry billionaires and developers that's not going to understand where it's going. And I definitely will agree with that one message you were saying. I may not agree with politics. I agree with that message. Do what you can with the AI. I know they're going to try to take it at some point. But the AI will help you to extrapolate your own models from it.
And see, that's the thing. They're using us right now because it's unregulated, right? Yeah, they're using us right now to build and develop a future that they're not even going to need us for anymore anyway. Isn't that crazy?
The water bill. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm developing like, and I think as other people want too. We develop a complex functionality that you can actually, and depending on your level of how you develop it, right? Because you program it with language, not with syntax, so you can do more, right? I wish I could explain the parallels, but some people may not necessarily get it. The parallel would be literally like machine language to programming language. Machine language, at one point in time, humans wrote all the programs in machine language. It's not a superior language. It's what computers interpret. When humans wrote machine language, programs were way worse because humans aren't machines. So ours was much more prone to error, much more needing of debugging and correction. And we created greater debugging, greater ways to find these errors. But then somebody created the great idea to create a compiler that can take human language and compile it into machine language. Right? This could be sort of like the same exact thing that AI is with traditional programming. Now it can understand just logic and reason and then go and translate that into what a program should be. But because programming right now is in the age of technology where there's a lot of different hardware and devices powered by software, it's much more powerful to harness this power of software. But it don't have to be scary. There is some scary things when you're looking at like legislation and how stupid people is getting, but maybe we don't have to focus on that. We can focus on like building, like working together, strategizing. I think I would 100% support that. We have to understand that everybody can't do everything. Some people may not be able to come out. Some people may not, you know what I'm saying, understand how to get their stuff together. But that's okay. We can communicate them. We got to understand that we kind of build a community so we can have a unified voice. You know what I'm saying? And that takes all of us. You can't say which side of us represent all of us. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I would say that's one of the best ways I believe we can leverage AI if we leverage it together where we have systems that can work together. When you're talking with the AI, talking with each other, having complex systems that maybe even too complex for them to really navigate at the moment, they're going to figure it out, right? Nothing is impossible to break. But you can at least have a window of time where you have a space where you can do what you want to do for a minute while they're trying to figure this stuff out. And by the time they do, you can have another thing. You know what I'm saying? But that can work in steps. I'm not trying to go around speaking, but it's a lot. It's a lot, but and I do. If anybody got AI project that you got the AI coding with you, I can tell you about those issues if you do hope to do it. But in so many things that can go wrong.
Well, I did hit you up in your back chat.
I bet I am.
All right.
I'm sorry. Oh no, thank you.
I don't think he meant to do that on purpose. I'm sorry. But yeah, I hit you up so we can chat about that. Well, I think we done ran this discussion into the ground, so I guess it's fair to say the statistics is that we can prosper as long as you get up and do what you're supposed to do. Take advantage of that bill. And if anybody got a business and if they want to know how they can take advantage of the research and development part of that bill, let me know. I can guide you and show you what exactly to do in order to qualify for research and development. Is everybody done with the topic? Y'all want to talk about nothing else?
Yeah, let's talk about how they beat that girl up in New York.
Oh shit, let me get to my laptop. Hold on. What happened?
I think they was arguing on the parking spot or something. So she went around the block, came back to put some garbage can or something. So she went park. So I guess they got into an argument about the garbage cans being here. So she hit the parking spot, and they called her a monkey, a slave, or some shit. And then she was like, "Well, you're an immigrant." And when she said that, the little boy girl came out there and they commenced to whipping that booty, all three of them, that she was arguing with the dude.
Oh, this shit happened 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Dang, it's a bunch of stuff going on. So, a tax driver. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me watch.
Now, I'm trying to figure out if anyone thinks that she was wrong for telling them they're immigrant after they called her that, or
nah.
They looked on. Well, listen, you say you from New York, is right? Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, I hope they going to jail. They going to jail.
What happened?
Oh, it's 3 people.
Wait, what happened?
It's 3 people jumping on this girl from New York, and then this other man came out with a cane telling them to stop. So they jumped on that girl. I hope they got their ass about the run.
I mean, I hope they didn't get their faces on camera, because
everything's on camera.
Well,
they were arrested. Yep, they said they were arrested last week after video captured them spewing racial slurs and viciously attacking a female driver over a public parking space. Adria Dumitra, 45, and Sabrina Starman, 21, were charged with assault on Monday after attacking a 21-year-old driver outside of a home in Ridgewood, Queens. Police confirmed to Fox. Social media use, them people, they was on her. They was on that behind. They was trying to beat the black up off her. I swear to God.
You see how they pulled her neck. How they only got 2 of them? It was 3 of them. Where's the third person?
I don't know, but somebody need to snitch. That's all I got to say.
It makes you think, like, I mean, it was when they were doing it, it was so many people that was just standing around watching them jump on this girl. Is that normal in New York? Well, no, because they were saying that earlier it was a Hispanic lady that was getting kidnapped on the train or something, and several brothers jumped in into that to stop what was happening with her. So I'm just wondering why, they stood around and watched that as well. That was kind of off too.
Oh, so the 2 people they arrested, Erica, was the mother and daughter were the women. The person that initially jumped on her was the man, and he's the one that wasn't arrested. They're protecting him.
No, wait a minute now, because I did read in the comments that, okay, so it was one that was clearly a man, which was the little short bent back one. And then, so the one with the beard, the one that looked like a male, but listen, I think they said that's her daughter and she's transitioning.
Girl, stop it.
You got a whole beard though. Yeah, so I'm confused.
Because he got on, I'm talking about he got on a white shirt, plaid. Come on now. Okay, you know what? Maybe because wait a minute.
You see his chest or her chest when he ran out there to hit the girl?
That is a girl. That is a girl.
Got a whole face.
And that's a mask on her chin. That's all. It's a mask. Okay, it is a guy. It is the guy. So the one that initially started it, the trans one, as you're saying, maybe, I don't know, allegedly, is the one that ran up on her. Then the mother, and then it's another guy. He had on some gray shorts and a yellow shirt. He was hitting her in her back when the other 2 had her by her head.
Man, that's